Yo, what's good? It's Hot Streak Podcast coming at you live. It's your boy Carlos in the cut.
And that boy Saif also in the cut as well.
Yeah, you already know what the fuck is going on. So, right off the bat, man, NBA news.
Ooh.
Oh, we had some big news this week, man.
Do we? What's poppin'?
Kobe Bryant jersey retirement ceremony on Monday.
Shout out.
Getting both of his jerseys retired. 10 seasons in each jersey, 3 championships in number 8, 2 championships in number 24.
Damn.
Safe to say, GOAT.
Yes.
Probably one of the best players ever, if not the best. Statistically speaking, they said that both of his jerseys are Hall of Fame worthy. So he was like, if it was 2 different players, the statistics would line up and they would both be Hall of Famers. The stats were unreal, basically identical. And they asked Kobe which one is better in his eyes, which he would pick, number 8 or number 24. He said number 24 because the road was a lot tougher. He was older. He had to play against, I would say, a much better league in the second half of his career. And he beat the Celtics, so he's like, fuck the Celtics.
Yeah,
I agree with him.
Yeah, dude, he's a GOAT, man. It's like he spoiled me pretty much my whole childhood because fucking dude, all those times the Lakers were contenders, all those times the Lakers won the championship, all those times we got to watch Kobe drop 81, 60, a month where he scored like he averaged like 40 or something. Yeah, just
50
like
points in a row for 4 games straight.
He basically saved our childhood, and we have him to thank for basketball and just being like our hero as a kid. So
I ain't gonna lie.
Shout out to the Mamba.
When I saw them jerseys being unveiled, I was like, a little tear rolling
I'm
down
getting
my
old
face.
as fuck.
And also, I was like, yo, wait, there ain't no way he's not lacing him up for the second half.
Yeah,
I was like, he's gonna come in, right? 6 man. Nah, they didn't. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but it would have been sick.
You know he can still ball, but it's all good. We got some new ballers on the Lakers.
Yeah, they actually played really great basketball against the Warriors the same night. Well, I wouldn't say really great. I wouldn't say really great basketball, but definitely some good athletic play. Turned over the ball a little bit too much.
Kuzma's dropping shots. Right?
Yeah, they missed a lot of free throws.
Yeah.
If they would have made more free throws, they would have won the game.
Yeah.
They went to overtime. Brandon Ingram played well. Lonzo Ball played well.
Lonzo's progressing well.
Yeah,
dude.
he's shooting the ball with a lot more confidence. You could tell just the way he carries himself on the court. He has gained a lot more confidence in the last couple of weeks. Kyle Kuzma, I mean, I don't know, man. You put him in the game and he's an offensive scoring machine. Like he's gonna hit you with every kind of shot that you could think of. Running skyhook left-handed, running skyhook right-handed, spinning baseline, under the basket layups, offensive rebounds, 3-pointers, off the dribble, anything. That guy's got moves. So that Lakers team's looking pretty good. They actually got hit with an injury. Brook Lopez sprained his right foot or his right ankle. He's expected to be out at least 3 weeks. He's going to be evaluated once again when those 3 weeks come by. And injury news: the Warriors are going to be without Steph Curry on Christmas Day against the Cavs. He's going to be evaluated for that ankle sprain after that game to see if he returns after the game. That's kind of scary because if you think about the Warriors right now, they only have 2 superstars that are playing, Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson. They're playing okay. They're winning games, but you're getting Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and mainly those 2 because those are like the other 2 superstars on the team. Yeah. But you're giving them rest in the middle of the season. And
True.
I don't know if that's a good thing for the league or the bad thing, because if you think about it, they'll come back a little bit healthier, well rested, and they're going to come into a team that's playing great basketball already.
Yep.
So watch out for the Warriors to get revamped in a couple of weeks with some key players returning from injury. Oh yeah,
Davis.
So yeah, they were Anthony Davis is probably the biggest trade commodity in the NBA right now. Like every team wants Anthony Davis on their squad.
Yeah.
The question is, can you trade for Anthony Davis? Will the Pelicans accept a trade for Anthony Davis? They will if you give them the right assets. I'm not sure where he's going to land, but he's been saying that he's loyal to New Orleans. He's loyal to the team. He loves the city. He loves the teammates. But I don't think he's going to spend his whole career in New Orleans. And if he does, he ain't winning.
Yeah, if he does, he doesn't want to win championships.
Yeah. Big rumors swirling, 3-team trade where Davis ends up in Boston. That would be insane.
Wow.
Just because if you think about Anthony Davis running the pick and roll with Kyrie Irving, all the young guys that they have on that team, and then you still don't have Gordon Hayward, so he'd come back. Yikes. That's like Big Brother right there in the league, because they could match up against anybody and take you down. Speaking of Gordon Hayward, he's walking. I don't know if we reported about this last week.
Right?
Yeah, no boot, no walking boot. He's walking. I don't know how far along in the rehab process he's in, but he potentially could return this season, maybe for the playoffs, maybe a little bit before the playoffs, get in game shape. Let's see. I don't know, man. That would be crazy, because that's just adding depth to a Boston's team that's already pretty deep and talented. And I don't know, man. If Gordon Hayward comes back, they make a couple trades, maybe some big things coming for that Boston Celtics team in terms of the playoff aspirations that they have, and matching up against Cleveland. The East is a lot more competitive, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bright spots in the East. The Bucks actually beat Cleveland earlier in the week. Victor Oladipo, man, that guy's gonna win Most Improved Player. Every percentage, every statistic is up from last year. It's pretty interesting to see that, because he's been playing great basketball.
Yeah, like a all-star, dude, all-star level for sure.
And and I don't know if it's Paul George has obviously taken a step back in his game, and I don't know if it's just because he's playing with Russell, or if he's playing with Melo. I don't know if there's just too much going on in OKC, but there's a lot of people saying like, oh, Victor Oladipo's already better than Paul George. Like, the turnover for that was so great. I don't know if he's better than Paul George.
I don't know.
But he's definitely playing a lot better this year. He has a chip on his shoulder because he's bounced around from team to team in the last couple of seasons. So that's good, man. Indiana needed something like that, because if not, they're going to be a lottery team for sure. So if they can string a couple wins together, they might sneak into a playoff spot. Yep. Honestly. The Western standings, pretty much similar to last week. Not too much movement along there. It's still the Rockets. Oh, yeah, the Rockets, man. The Rockets are on a 14-game win streak. Chris Paul has yet to lose with the Rockets uniform on.
Damn.
I think that's the longest streak in forgot, like a player with a new team. That's like the longest win streak with a player on a new team. It helps that everyone else is balling and they only shoot 3-pointers.
Right. James
Harden, I don't know. He sometimes I'm like, how do you make these shots look so easy? Because he's off the dribble, step back, 3-pointer from like 25 feet away or something.
It's crazy.
And it's swish. It's like, it's money. Maybe playing a little bit MVP caliber basketball. If James Harden's not on that Rockets team, they're obviously not that good.
Yep.
And then Golden State's still in second, my bad. San Antonio in third, Minnesota, Portland, Denver, OKC, and New Orleans. And the Lakers keep falling back, man. They're on a 3-game losing streak. Right now they're in the 10th spot, 11th spot, tied with the Clippers. They got a tough schedule, but there's a lot of injuries on those middle of the pack teams, so they should try to string some wins together because they could definitely use it.
Yeah, they need 8 to be 500.
Yeah, as of this recording.
Right.
And the East, similar to last week as well. Boston in first, Cleveland, Toronto, Detroit, Milwaukee, Washington, Indiana, and the Knicks. Philly has actually been playing a little bit sloppy basketball lately.
Yeah.
They were on a good run. I think they were the 8th seed last week, and they've dropped a couple games. They're on a 3-game losing streak, and they're not looking too sharp right now.
It's all bad.
Yeah, like I said before, the Pacers are the real surprise for me. Oladipo just clutch against the Celtics earlier in the week. He's playing great. Hit a couple clutch shots. They lost on a weak end of the fourth quarter play. It was weird. Just turned over the ball and Rozier had an open lane for the layup for Boston to come out with the win. But the NBA, a lot of highlights. I think I saw 3 posters that Kevin Durant got put on Monday. Larry Nance put him on a poster. Julius Randle put him on a poster, and Jordan Clarkson also fit him on his poster.
Wow.
So, what do you think, Saif? Basketball.
I think it's interesting. That whole Sixers losing 8 of their last 10, pretty bad. Pacers up. Bucks just beat the Cavs today, as of this recording. The Bulls are on a 6-win streak. They're second to last in their division, but they're on a 6-win streak, and they only have 9 wins. So they're 9-20 right now.
The Bulls have identity issues. They don't have a superstar.
Yeah.
They don't have
a leader.
They don't have a leader. Their coach got rid of their best player basically in Jimmy Butler last season, and it's going to be a tough.
Are you rebuilding?
Season.
Are you?
They're definitely in rebuild mode. They have some young guys, some young assets that maybe could cause some noise, like Zach LaVine, Chris Dunn, athletic guys, but they still have yet to establish themselves as a dominant player in the league. But it's I mean, the NBA season, there's so many games weekly, and sometimes teams go through these little slumps where they win a couple games or they lose a couple games in a row, like the Sixers, and they have to find themselves. They have to find their identity, and I think there's towards the middle of the season, there's a lot of those, mainly in December, January. There's a lot of those times where they're like, okay, who are we? What are we going to do? How are we going to make it to the end of the season, make it to a playoff spot, and hopefully make it to a championship?
Yeah,
it's going to be a tough, long road, but it looks like it's going to be an interesting season the rest of the way. The Bucks are actually going to get Jabari Parker back.
Oh, finally!
Hopefully, by February, they're eyeing that return. So towards the end of the season, they'll have the second half of the season. They'll have some good reinforcements off the bench. I mean, Jabari Parker, we know what he can do. He's a big guy, strong guy, can shoot the mid-range, can shoot threes, post player. He's just been plagued with these injuries, and hopefully he could stay healthy for the Bucks, because I think they definitely will need him in the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely, and he's a big player. I like to see how he comes and impacts the team, because I know he can ball, but I just hope the chemistry's there.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it for the NBA portion of Hot Streak. Enjoy the music, and we'll be back with some NFL news.
This is Trey Hermoso, and you're listening to Hot Streak Podcast.
And we're back on Hot Streak. What the fuck is up? NFL news, Saif. Kick it off.
Motherfucking NFL. Aaron Rodgers returns to the IR.
Yeah, he came back this week, played against the Panthers. They lost.
3 interceptions.
So they're like, let's sit you down for the rest of the year. That's smart, because why risk an injury on your franchise quarterback? And also, Maybe if Brent Hundley plays good in the last 2 games, you have some trade value for him. Peep the Browns. Peep. Who else needs a quarterback? The Colts.
Yeah.
The Texans. Oh no, the Texans have
The Broncos.
The Broncos. Yeah, you could trade Brent Hundley to the Broncos, and they'd be like, "Yo, thank you so much."
Thank you so much. We needed it. Hey, speaking of quarterbacks, the real deal, Jimmy G, is just that. He's a fucking real deal.
Jimmy G on the Niners, 3 straight wins, 3-game win streak.
Yeah, and the Niners, quote, didn't know he was this special.
Oh, ooh. I don't know. You calling him special, and you guys are playing for draft orders.
Yeah, I thought he wasn't going to play this year.
Yeah, so maybe not special, but definitely somebody good. Better than what you've had before. Better than what you've had in the last couple seasons. But
shots out to Kaepernick right there.
I mean, he didn't fit the scheme, man. You know,
yeah, he's just not that good. What's good with the Carolina Panthers? They just beat the Packers, but what's good with the ownership though?
I mean, I don't even know the guy's name, but he is being investigated.
Richardson.
Yeah, he's being investigated for sexual misconduct and assault. Is it assault?
I think it's just misconduct.
Okay, sexual misconduct and
that's so bad thing.
And abusive.
It's just misconduct.
I think he said some racially insensitive things too. He voluntarily put the team up for sale, so I don't know why the NFL is investigating him. Yeah. Because the worst thing that they could ask him to do is put the team up for sale, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to do it anyway.
And he's going to profit fat, so don't think he's doing this, and it's like, I'm going to be the bigger man. He bought this shit for $600 million. He's selling it for $2.5 billion.
Yeah, this guy. So
just know. And it's only been 20 years.
Yeah, this guy, he made a smart business decision. He's like, you know what, the NFL is probably not going to last another 20 years, so might as well sell the team.
Shit, he's probably not going to last another 20 years.
But his grandkid's going to be happy that he sold the team.
Trust fund babies right there.
So P. Diddy said he wants to buy the team. Colin Kaepernick said, hey, man, sign me up. And Steph Curry, the backlash on that is that Colin Kaepernick said he wants to be a part owner of the Panthers, so they're like, the NFL is going to be like, no, what you mean? No. But
if he owned the team, people would still be wondering, why isn't he playing? Start talking shit.
It's weird. It's a weird situation for the Panthers, but it's North Carolina, so you already know, sexual misconduct and racially insensitive remarks, that's in their culture. Butter. Yeah, that's like bread and butter in North Carolina right there.
Yep. So Thomas Davis apparently is suspended for 2 games on his hit for Devontae Adams hit.
Update on that. 1 game he appealed and they got it reduced to 1 game. So
okay.
Yeah, he said he didn't mean to do it.
That's bullshit.
He led with his head, made helmet-to-helmet contact, and knocked out Devontae Adams on a block. Maybe, it was an interception. You're looking to lay somebody out to get your guy some more real estate, maybe some more yardage. That was a nasty hit. That's the exact type of hit that they want to get out of the game of football. And Devontae Adams tweeted about it. I mean, he
said, fuck that.
Yeah, he said, fuck that, basically. All-pro linemen, or all-pro linebackers coming at you, head hunting. Something we need to take out of the game. I think he has a concussion. This is the 2nd concussion he's had this season. So you can see the frustration in Adams. Davis tweeted, apologized. He was pretty sincere. He seemed pretty apologetic, and I don't know how far that went between those two. Middle linebacker for the Redskins actually tweeted in response to Devontae Adams saying, you best believe I'm headhunting every time I go out on the field. It's the game of football. You know what you signed up for. It's more along those lines. So he wasn't apologetic for the hit that he did not lay on anybody. But
savage.
Yeah, I guess you could see where he's coming from in terms of you're going to get hit regardless. Injuries are part of the game. But that was kind of insensitive, and that's the type of hit that you don't want in the game of football anymore. You don't ever want that to be like the main. Like you don't want to see that every game. We've already had too many injuries, too many concussions, a lot of dangerous hits. Ryan Shazier,
we're over it.
It's a recurring topic that we don't like to see.
Speaking of injuries and stuff of that nature, Carson Wentz, another superstar, got injured, right?
That was last week.
Was it?
That was last week, yeah.
Damn, I was gonna say because Nick Foles is pretty good, bro.
Nick Foles threw 4 touchdowns this week.
Damn.
Yeah, they smashed on. I forgot who they played. I think they played the Giants. But yeah, they were killing it.
Dude, Nick Foles is like the Eagles were lucky that they don't have to worry from Carson Wentz, who's a great quarterback. Like when you go to your backup,
who was a starter.
Yeah, and this dude can play like that. He had like a whole Pro Bowl season. Like he can play at all-star level.
Yeah. Another guy who's definitely all-star level, Todd Gurley, ran over the Seahawks this past week. He literally destroyed the Seahawks. 4 touchdowns, a hat trick in the first half. Unstoppable. And Seattle only managed to score 7 points that game. It was 44-7. That was interesting to see. I didn't think the Rams were gonna smack them that hard, but they did.
They gave him a beating, man.
Yeah.
And then the Seahawks locker room kind of turned on themselves. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh yeah. Elaborate. Yeah. Talking about Bobby Wagner, right?
Yeah, and then he's like, keep your name out of my mouth.
Yeah. Keep my name out your mouth. I don't know. Trade Bobby Wagner to the Raiders. I'll be glad. Do something like we need something like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Raiders, Sunday night game against the Dallas Cowboys. Interesting game. It was pretty competitive. I thought there was some pretty interesting play, not play calling, but officiating. I've never seen an index card being used to measure a first down. Obviously, you could see that there was like space in between the ball and the marker, so I wasn't sure what was going on. It was a controversial 4th down. The Cowboys went for it. It was like 4th and 1 or 4th and half a yard, and it honestly, I didn't think he got the first down. And then they placed the ball and they gave him a pretty nice spot on the ball. And then they measured with a piece of paper, and then the ref, the camera is right there. So then the ref, when he measures it, he looks up and he smirks, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how does this doesn't look right? This looks sketchy. So they give Dallas the first down, which they end up going and scoring. The Raiders have to come back down, drive down the field and try to get a touchdown for the win. Where Derek Carr fumbles the ball out of bounds in the end zone, which is another rule that I don't understand. How do you fumble a ball
in the end zone?
You fumble the ball out of the end zone. All right, how is it the defense's ball? It's the defensive. They didn't recover. The ball was fumbled forward. They didn't recover the ball, and all of a sudden they're rewarded with the touchback. I don't understand that. It should be where the ball carrier lost control down. I think there's some rule changes going to happen this offseason with the NFL in terms of like something like revisiting that, revisiting the catch rule. I forget the tight end's name from the Steelers. I think it's Jesse James. He caught a ball to win the game against the Patriots, which is another crazy game. He caught the ball, broke the plane, and when he fell, which he did make a football move, he was down. He fell. The ball kind of juggled. There was a touchdown on the field. They reviewed it. No touchdown. Next play, Ben Roethlisberger throws a pick. I think they need to revisit that catch rule for sure, because that was a catch. He broke the plane. Touchdown. If you break the plane and you fumble when you're out of bounds, that's a touchdown because you broke the plane. Yeah. I don't understand how the officials. There's a lot of inconsistency with the officiating in the NFL, and Roger Goodell, you gotta do something about it because players aren't happy, coaches aren't happy. Potential match fixing in the NFL, rumors swirling. It makes sense. there's been teams that just win and win and win and win and win and win and win.
How do they do it?
I don't know.
No one knows.
I ain't pointing fingers, but Tom Brady, you a scumbag. I'm just kidding. Yeah, the playoff seeding is a little better now. You could tell who's going to be in the playoffs. Do you have the playoffs pulled up, Saif?
The playoff picture? I don't, but I'm going to pull it up right now. I can tell you one thing. The Eagles, the Rams, the Patriots, I believe the Steelers for sure.
Yeah, it's the Patriots, Steelers, Jacksonville Jaguars, Kansas City for the divisional champs as of today. Tennessee and Buffalo in the wild card positions. And then the Baltimore Ravens on the outside looking in, Chargers on the outside looking in, and the Raiders are still there, but they need a lot of help if they want to get into the playoffs. And then the NFC, they got the Eagles, the Vikings, the Rams, and the Saints, all within 2 games of each other. So there's 2 games left in the season. They might be able to shake up on the standings. And then we have Carolina and Atlanta in the wildcard spots. On the outside looking in, Detroit, Seattle, and Dallas. I'm not sure Dallas's chances. They're 8-6, but they have to beat Seattle, and they need help from Atlanta losing or the Saints losing or the Panthers losing. So all 3 of those NFC South teams that potentially could be in the playoffs need to lose for the Cowboys to be in the playoffs. So all you Cowboy fans, you all better be praying that the officials help you out again, because y'all need all the help you can get. And the Browns are still winless, guys. Wow. Is that news?
Surprise.
Is that news? I don't know, man. They should have fired their coach when they went 0-6. I don't understand what's going on. I think they're cursed, honestly.
Yeah, for real. You could get like a fucking middle schooler in there and run that organization better.
Do you think Ohio State could beat the Cleveland Browns?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I think they could beat them by a field goal.
Maybe. I don't know.
If Ohio State had a better quarterback than JT Barrett, they could probably beat the Cleveland Browns. I mean, JT Barrett would probably get drafted and be the Cleveland Browns quarterback. In all honesty.
Thing is, like, all these Cleveland Brown players were former stars in college, so I don't know. It could have happened, but
you're right. Yeah,
they have a good offense, you know. Like, who knows?
Yeah, they do have a good offense. That's for damn sure. And I think that's pretty much it for the NFL, man. We talked about everything. The playoffs are looking like they're pretty much set. Just a couple teams that might bounce in or bounce out in each conference. And it's going to be fun to watch. I'm pretty excited to watch the postseason. I couldn't tell you who's going to win the Super Bowl today because I don't have any idea. I think the best bet would probably be I think the Vikings could pull off a Super Bowl win.
Ooh. I would hate to see that.
Yeah. I would hate to see the Rams, but the Rams defense is really good.
They're the real deal, for real.
The Patriots are always there at the top. You could always tell that they're going to be a threat. But I think if they went up against the Steelers in the playoffs, the Steelers would probably get the better of them. Just because they should have won this last game. But in the playoffs, I don't count on Big Ben making a mistake like that.
True.
But it's going to be interesting to watch, man. They're around the corner. We got 2 weeks left in the regular season. And then the playoffs after that. So I'm excited. Keep it locked. We got some more news for you. We'll be right back. This is Conor McGregor. And you're now listening to Hot Streak. And we're back on Hot Streak. You already know what it is. We got some soccer news coming at you. Quick, heavy hitters. So, Premier League. Manchester City. I believe they are on a 15-game win streak or undefeated streak in the league. They have not lost in the league. that's incredible. They've beaten Arsenal's record previously held in like 2002 when they went undefeated in the league. We're basically halfway there in terms of the season. Manchester City has a 21-point advantage on second place, which is Manchester United, who is they have 41 points, and Manchester City has 52 points. The fixtures for this weekend, pretty interesting. On Friday, we have Liverpool versus Arsenal, which was today, earlier. Hopefully Arsenal pulled out a win, but Liverpool is pretty strong in their attacking sense. So it's going to be a tough matchup. And then Chelsea versus Everton, Manchester City versus Bournemouth, Manchester United versus Leicester City, and Tottenham versus Burnley, all on Saturday. And then in the Spanish first flight, it's the weekend we've been waiting for, guys. Barcelona versus Real Madrid this weekend. Messi versus Ronaldo. The narrative is always the best player in the world versus some chump who only scores penalties. Ronaldo. I'm just kidding, guys. Two of the very best players in the world. Messi obviously being far superior, but, you know. Barcelona's in first place. Atletico Madrid is in second place with 36 points. Valencia is in third. And Real Madrid is in fourth place. They did not play this past weekend. Real Madrid, they were in the Club World Cup, so they were playing against a lot of teams from a lot of champions from their respective leagues across the world. They came out with the win, so they are the Club World Champions. So they're a game behind, but they're going to face up against Barcelona. And unfortunate news for everyone who's in the Pacific time zone, the game is going to be at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So either go to sleep early and wake up super early, or pull an all-nighter. I don't know, whichever you prefer. But try to catch that game because it's probably the biggest game in the world this weekend. And German league, let's see. Bayern Munich's in first place. They're ahead by 14 points. Doesn't look like they're going to give up anytime soon. And this weekend's fixtures, it's actually, I think they have this weekend off. Yeah, the German league is not scheduled to return until what? Until February or January? Are you serious? Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to return until January. January 12th is the return of the German league. I guess they give a couple weeks off for the holidays. That's pretty cool. I did not know that. The Italian league, Napoli's in first, 1 point ahead of Juventus. This one's actually a very competitive league right now. We have Juventus in second, 41 points. Inter Milan, 40 points in third. Roma within 2 points of Inter. And it's pretty competitive, so that can change really quickly. This weekend, Napoli versus Sampdoria. Inter versus a mid-table team. Juventus versus Roma. So that should be a pretty good matchup. And then the French league with Neymar and Paris Saint-Germain. They're in first place ahead 9 points. They're ahead of Monaco. The fixtures for this weekend as well should be pretty good. They have some midweek games. Monaco versus Stade Reims and PSG versus Caen. And then they play on Saturday. No, they don't play till January as well. They get the holidays off. So that should be pretty good matchups this week. And then February is the month of the return of Champions League. That's the knockout stages. So we already gave you the matchups for that last week. So that's pretty much it. Next week we'll recap this past weekend's games. Give you the update on the Clásico. Barcelona news. So Atletico Madrid has reported Barcelona for tampering. apparently they've made some tampering or alleged tampering with trying to sign Antoine Griezmann. Antoine Griezmann, a very, very highly touted striker from Atletico Madrid, a French international player. Rumors swirling that he's going to end up in the Barcelona squad next summer. But I don't know. There's constantly these transfer window bans. Barcelona has been a victim of that as well. They've been banned for a couple transfer windows, so they weren't allowed to sign any players. But I don't know how this is going to go. They have yet to investigate. So look out for that. And yeah, hopefully the Clásico is one of the better Clásicos that we've seen. I obviously am going for Barcelona because that's my team.
Yeah.
Saif can agree with me on that.
Viva Barça.
Yeah, and that's it for this episode of Hot Streak, man. Quick little episode, not that much news on the soccer, but quick plugs. Follow me on Instagram, chef_seagod, and on Twitter, Tupac's Love Child, and follow us on Instagram, Hot Streak Podcast on Instagram, and on Twitter, Hot Streak Pod, POD.
Yeah, follow my Instagram, SAIFK94. That's about it.
Yeah, and then follow Caesar, our producer, on CRP shows. You get all the content that he makes. Rodriguez Show, Caesar Modern Life, and I'm in the AM, Hot Streak, and yeah, keep it locked. Thanks for tuning in. It's the end of the show. Peace.
This was a Cesar Rodriguez production. Check out more at crpshows.com.